Sorry?
Just try and talk a little bit, just so I can get a level, right?
Oh yeah, well, we started a band last year and blah 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 blah. Hello, my name is Tarek. Hello. Let's talk about band stuff. Let's talk about it.
When we go about putting a song together, it's usually a case of starting from the ground up. There's always one of us that has the initial idea. They usually have the song idea and the words. We come in and show it to the rest of the band.
Well, it either starts with maybe I'll come in with a whole song that's already been written, or it'll be a process of somebody's got one part, or like a little guitar lick, or a chord sequence, or a bass line or something.
So quite recently we got Taz in. Taz wrote a song, and he had the chords and he had the words and he had an idea of how the song was going to go.
It might sound totally different to the actual outcome because obviously we just kind of just mix our parts over there, chord sequence and lyrics. It just becomes our own song.
They just keep playing it over and over, and everyone adds their own little thing to it. And luckily, it just sort of just comes together, really.
I don't really do a lot of writing myself. I kind of just fit around what they've given me. It's worked in their previous bands and it works now, so that's kind of how we do it.
Compression on the vocals and really getting the full sound out of the harmonies. The bass sounds so much more dominant, doesn't it? It's uplifted. They're playing better for the two of them being in there as well. We had them in there separately, they keep slipping up and that. They seem a bit more comfortable. It's always a good thing.
I was thinking we could, I was just thinking that we added another track for Scott's guitar and had him doing a track where we're just drumming the first chord and then ching, ching, and then just doing like...
Now when we get together to practice, it's quite usually the same routine.
Normally the first thing we do is to get in there and run through every song we've got, pretty much.
Well, literally, they'll just play in front of us and we'll just start jamming over it and over it.
We got a really nice place down Millbrook Way, which is like a set of warehouses by the seaside.
So our practices are usually quite long. They're usually about at least 4 hours normally, and sometimes they're 6 hours, so there's a lot of breaks involved during them as well, to sort of sit around for a bit and talk about stuff that's coming up, or gigs, promoting and stuff.
Whether we've got a gig coming up, we'll go through the set list we've got written for the gig, or if we haven't got a gig coming up, we'll just go through every single song that we've got, just to brush them all up nicely.
never thought I could say. Oh, I must confess, my head's more of a mess with every passing day. My heart is on my sleeve.
I say so far, recording in the studios has been it's been a damn good laugh.
We usually record live.
We're not very like a studio-friendly band, as in recording individually. We're quite, whenever we've recorded to like a guide track with all of us playing, and like the bass and drums, but everyone will be playing alongside, and the only thing that we recorded is the bass and drums.
I've played to click tracks before. I'm comfortable doing it, but as I said, I like to grasp a live feel in our music. I think that's what we're all about, really.
As far as recording this project has gone, it's been a whole lot more laid back. If I remember correctly, like the first session itself was around October time, and we're sat here now in March. And
I like using live vocal takes. Personally, I find it better for myself if one take is used for the whole song.
It's quite interesting today to do the click tracks and stuff. That's quite a challenge for us as a band, I think, because we've never really done it like that.
We usually get Taz and Christian to play together and then overdub the guitars and overdub the vocals.
It gets you right nervous and that, and I'm just... It's a bit of a mind... It's just a bit of a mind fuck, really.
This is like your thing to hold it against you. So where his signal's like really small. Like that. In the middle.
A little bit more. That way.
You record that,
you can't help but seem seamless because he played it with it.
Yeah, there's just like that pop.
The one bit I liked about this session, the recording and the cutting of this album, as opposed to the EP we done earlier last year, was the large acoustic element that's come into it.
A lot of the time, just playing acoustic just sounds a lot better than, there's no need to add stuff into it if it's not needed.
So there was 3 really broad ideas for acoustic songs that are all very, very different.
But it's definitely a good thing for the band because it means we can broaden our sound, really.
We've got a lot of different mixes of influences, and we like the fact that we can have a couple of acoustic tracks on there.
And it's a lot easier to the ear to some people as well, so it gives a bit of something for everyone.
I mean, because our usual setup is just making a lot of noise kind of thing, and it's interesting to have songs that are a bit more, like the parts a bit more accurate, like because they're acoustic, you can hear more stuff.
With the acoustic tracks, I'm just playing a simple drummer, I get told to play and I do it, If the song's acoustic and it's not needed any drums, then that's fine with me. I can easily sit back and let the other guys do their thing.
It's sort of them at its rawest.
You can relax and listen to the acoustic sets.
Who might have drove a line? I'm walking down a lonely road, but I can't read the signs. And if you pull me left or right, I'll take my memories. But now see you never go, never cease to be, cease to be. When I write, I said I call your name aloud. When I write, see it in the clouds, baby. So maybe I'm the one you wanna say. So that you can see it in the clouds, baby. The one day I will be released.
live music's what we're all about really as a band.
It's where we're used to the local crowd bouncing about and doing crazy things. And
when we play live, it's usually a kind of fumble of just getting up there and doing it, isn't it, really? I mean,
we haven't mastered the studio process yet as a band, where we haven't done that much work in the studio together. But as a live band, we've really cracked it.
We always have in practice. We always practice our sets, so we'll practice exact timings of what we want to do and stuff. So if talking can be said in the half an hour and stuff, and we usually pin that between songs. So Liam will say something before a song, blah blah.
We know where each other's going to go. You know, it's like it's easy bunch of guys to play with, and when you know people so well that you know when a chord change is coming or when the drum beat's going to drop out. And
I mean, playing live is interesting because we're all kind of musicians, but we're not really real musicians. We're all just mates that took it as a hobby and just did it. And so playing live is just kind of a big fat jam for us.
We've all been in bands since we were quite young, and I think we're starting to mature, and it's coming across as sort of like a professional and quite like classy sort of appearance, which is we hopefully can appeal to a lot more people.
Playing live is my favourite thing in the world. You know, the adrenaline rush, just the whole vibe of the atmosphere, everyone having a good time. You know, playing live is what music is to me. It's my passion. It's what I feel I need to do in my life. It's what I need to fulfil.
But these past few months, say we had a bit of an unorthodox situation where the drummer had broken his hand.
It's just been more of a case of we've been meeting up a lot and writing songs together, but not being able to practice as a whole band. We've only recently been able to actually do a practice and do a gig, and the gig was a big question mark around the gig that we were going to do as to whether he was going to be fit to do it or not. But he was, thankfully. We had to cancel one. Well, we played it acoustically instead, but it was alright. Could have been worse.
On our first gig in January was a acoustic performance where we had the drummer just playing a snare and the rest of us doing our parts but on acoustic guitars.
Well, the last 2 months which he's had it broken has been a pretty dire situation, really. I mean, we haven't had any practices, and what we have had is little acoustic kind of jams, and it's hindered us since our last gig at the Hobbit, which is when he did acoustic for his broken hand. That was quite a challenging gig for us because we hadn't practiced in ages, and it kind of went a bit pulled over. But since then, I mean, he's definitely come up with a better hand, really. He's just playing better somehow. He's just strengthened up. But it really put us in the doghouse for a couple of months.
And as much as the audience enjoyed that element of the performance, and people that come to see us before liked that element of the performance, as a band, we all sort of stood there and just really didn't enjoy the process at all. That wasn't the way we went about writing the music to perform the music. So as much as we put on a half decent performance, it didn't have the same sort of enthusiasm as the music should have, that the music was capable of, definitely.
It has affected the band. I think it has a confidence level and everything, really. I mean, we haven't been practicing or really playing proper gigs in the last 2 months, and I think we all started getting a bit confidence level down. You know what I mean? We're not playing gigs, we're not getting the feedback. But then after the last few gigs that we've just done, he's back on form and confidence is higher than ever. It's really good for the band. So
I think it was about 2 months ago I had a little slip up. Kind of affected the band, affected the guys with their work. I broke both knuckles by being a bit of an idiot and punching a door, which I don't recommend anyone doing ever, because it does hurt. And it affected my drumming. You know, I couldn't drum for about 2 months, which sucked. You know, just felt like a right idiot afterwards. You know, kind of slowed things down a bit, but we got back into it afterwards. First gig went really well, hands healing up, you know, getting back into the groove of it, and everything seems to be back on track. So it's all good.
Down by the riverbed, crosses, and I wonder why you always come.
I like that footage.
I like that a lot.
Though I must confess, my head's been a mess, and this stress is all that I need. My heart is on my sleeve.